Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and podcast number 17. I'm doing it live. But not quite like. All right, so let's see. We got Ario Anindito here, and he's calling on Skype. Listen, the Skype may drop every so often. He's going to call back immediately if that happens. He's calling all the way from
Yes.
Indonesia, from his studio. This is where the magic happens. Ario, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Great.
All right. So, question one: Who are you, man?
I'm not a mutant. I'm a regular guy. My name is Ario Anindito, and I'm a comic artist right now, working for Marvel. Also a statue designer, and sometimes I make movies. And but right now I'm working on a Marvel book, Secret Empire United. Yes.
Man, forget about it. You're going to make me want to jump right into that. Okay, so working on Secret Empire. This is the biggest event that, in my opinion, the biggest event that Marvel has been working on since the original Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
or you know
Yeah.
what? Let's in fact say the Civil War, the Marvel superhero Civil War. All right,
Mm,
and there's a bunch
mm.
afterwards. There's the Secret Empire. There was a Secret Empire, the Secret Invasion, a little different. There was
Yes.
Siege and all that good stuff. And yes, it made some changes. The latest Civil War, Civil War Two, did some changes. The Secret Wars did some big changes, but this is big. This is a character that existed before there was a Marvel Comics. This is Captain America.
Yep.
Oh, you can probably tell my favorite character, and he's hailing Hydra, man.
Oh my
Just
God, that's one of the biggest twists.
right.
Yeah.
No one saw this coming. Killed the
Yep.
Nomad, threw him out of a plane, walked up, hey, Baron Zemo, my buddy, hugging him, and caught Professor Zellwig that we've seen from the Thor movie, and forget about it, man.
Yep.
Forget about it. So, like, what the original writer for that got death threats. When you're getting death threats, you know that you're doing something impressive. So,
Yeah.
oh man, okay, so here, let's start
Mm-hmm.
off early. What did you want to do when you were growing up?
Well, when I was a kid, I always want to be an adventurer like Indiana Jones. But then I figured out that I'm afraid of heights, so I scrapped that. And my dad is an architect, and he always come home with piles of papers and drawing tools. So, well, the most logical thing for me to do with all that is to start drawing. And so I began to enjoy drawing so much, and then I got into comics from my cousin's collections, and I got exposed to Batman, Trigun, and all of those comics, by Don Lawrence,
Mhm.
the Trigun and Storm series, and I read all those, and then I decided that I think I want to be a comic artist, and yeah, that's what
About
I
what
want
age
to
was
be.
that?
I think around the elementary school ish, when I was like maybe 12, and then I decided that I think reading comic is an awesome experience, and I bet it's more awesome if you can draw the actual comic and you decide what happened to the characters. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I want to do that also. I actually went to vocational school for art when I was in high school, but it's hard,
Hmm.
man. It's hard to get into actual comics. So, how did
Yeah.
you actually break into it?
Well, I consider myself lucky because I know that there's a lot of people who can draw better than me, a lot, and I guess I'm just lucky because, well, first I think when I was in college, I used to draw and I uploaded them to the internet. And back then there was no ArtStation, so I uploaded to DeviantArt. And one day there's this guy who have a talent agency in Italy, and he emailed me and he offered me to represent, uh, uh, you know, that he can represent me as an agent, and he can bring my portfolio and offer it to his clients. And apparently, one of his client is DC. So I started working for DC in 2012
Mm.
for a small gig. It's a backup story in Red Hood and the Outlaws for 2 issues. And then after that, I continue working in advertising. And then Marvel came to me through that agent in 2014. They asked me to do a test, a page test, page samples, and they give me Guardians of Galaxy script. It was 20 pages, and they asked me to choose 5 pages and to make a sequential pages out of those from those script. Just 5 pages, and then apparently Marvel loves it, and then they asked me like, which character or what Marvel characters do you like the most? And I said I love the X-Men, and then they give me Wolverine's series. So I made 2 books from the Wolverine series because it's I think it's a weekly. The Wolverine series was weekly. It came out every week, so the artist rotated really fast. And
Mm.
I worked, yeah, I was working on number 12 and number 16, I think, yeah, in 2014, 2000 and, yeah, 14.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you did a bunch of work. I saw the Red Hood out and the Outlaws, and I was really
Mm-hmm.
impressed with that. That was issue 9 and 10, I think.
10 and 11.
10 and 11. Okay, I was
Mm-hmm.
halfway there. Also, I saw
Also,
that. Here's
mm-hmm.
here's something interesting. I wasn't even that interested in looking at certain artists, excuse me, and writers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
Mm-hmm.
always reading comics for almost my whole life. But I actually did long before I had a channel. I was
Mm-hmm.
writing comic book review articles for another channel. They're actually on YouTube, much bigger than me. I'm from New Jersey. This guy's also from New Jersey. It's the Weekly Pull. If you ever seen that, these 4 guys do a podcast, and I was writing comic book articles for them. And one of the comic books that I was doing was The House of M, which you had
Wow.
worked on, yeah, during the Secret Wars, um,
Aha.
right before the Secret Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you did those 2, I think, issue number 3 and 4 out of 4.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, I
exactly.
actually did that. So I was actually reviewing your comics before I even,
Wow.
had a channel. So yeah, yeah, and they
I
were
hope
good
you like
stories,
it.
man, and I liked the art. I mentioned all that stuff. Typing it
Thank you
out, you
very
can still see it online.
much.
Um,
Thank you very much.
that's all good. Thank you for the for the work. But
Thank
you
you.
also did, and I
Well,
didn't read this. I actually meant to shoot out yesterday and go to the comic book store. There are 3 around me. I'm in Mississauga, Canada, right now.
mm,
I'm from America, but I'm living up here. My wife is Canadian, and I was planning on grabbing Hyperion Daddy issues, which you did the art
okay.
for the whole thing, right?
No, no, no. I only draw the Hyperion number 5.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay.
It's only 6 issues, right?
Yeah,
And I'm only filling for number 5 because the rest was made by a great artist. She's Nicole Firella.
okay, okay.
Hmm.
So, okay, so much I want to get into, and so many questions leading to other ones. First, yeah, you mentioned your father was into architecture, and I saw that you went to college for architecture.
Yes, true.
Okay, yeah, I saw
Yeah.
your online. And by the way, most of the stuff that we're talking about, I think, like your DeviantArt page, I've
Hmm.
got that already in the link below for the YouTube page. First time I'm
Thank you.
doing all that stuff, so it was an experience. That's why I didn't have time to even shoot to the comic book store yesterday. But
Uh,
okay, and then I can't remember what the other question was, but um, let's see. It's how you got into comic books. Okay, we know that you love the
mhm.
X-Men. Who's your favorite
Yeah.
character?
It's Gambit.
Really?
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Okay, so this is going to lead me into something else potentially. Fox is planning on doing a Gambit movie, and not just a movie. They're actually trying to make a whole franchise around it. You know?
Really, because I've heard that it's been a long project, and they
Yes.
keep changing the directors. They keep changing this and that and this and that till the point that Are they really going to make a Gambit movie? I mean, I know that maybe Channing Tatum is still attached to it, but other than that, I don't know what's in the news for the movie.
Hmm. This is Sony Studios.
Hmm.
Excuse me. This is Fox Studios, and
Uh,
Fox already has the X-Men. Clearly, otherwise they wouldn't have them. But they also have the Fantastic Four. They're wondering what
hmm.
to do with the Fantastic Four. They've got since the Fan Four Stick movie, which not a fan, not a fan. Since that came out, I think that they have, and I don't know the internal workings there. For everybody who's watching, I don't work
Hmm.
for Fox Studios, so I don't know. I don't have the contract. Saying, but they have, I believe, either from 5, and I've also heard from 7 years to make
Hmm.
either, I think, 5 years to make a sequel or 7 years to just make a reboot. So if that's the case, then they've got to do something. Otherwise, the properties automatically revert back to Marvel, or they could
Yes.
sell the properties back to Marvel. Which,
Yep.
if they were smart, I'm thinking,
They'll.
and what do I know? I think that they should consider selling those properties back to Marvel and just divesting or investing heavily into the X-Men, because they're usually
Yep.
hit or miss. But like after the success of Logan, forget about it. You know. Plus, sleeper
Yeah.
hit Deadpool. Oh my God.
One of my all-time favorite movie, that Deadpool.
It's
It's a
such
project of passion, and you can feel the passion on it. It's
right.
really good.
Yeah, because it was
Yep.
fronted by Ryan Reynolds, and he had such a passion. He'd been fighting for that movie for 5 years, and it shows. It
Yeah.
shows on a
Yeah.
what was it, like a $50 million budget or something like that? That's incredible that he did that.
Yeah. They
But
even
they
made the scene where Deadpool is forgetting his weapon in the taxi because of the budget cuts.
That's right. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's very
And
funny.
and and only two. How come I only see two X-Men in this huge mansion? It's like they couldn't afford anybody else. Like that's just perfect. And he's already riffing on Josh Brolin being Thanos and Cable.
Cable, yeah.
So loving that. But yeah, so they know that they've got something good in X-Men, but the X-Men movies aren't doing so great because there is just too much to go on. So
Hmm.
they have been saying, and Channing Tatum has said himself that and I don't believe him, but he says he's as invested as Ryan Reynolds is. I don't know if he's as invested, but I do believe he is very invested in it. He does
Nice.
want to make a franchise around Gambit, which I think would be the
Hmm.
right thing to do. It would be intelligent, at least, to have a bunch of different franchises and have, teams devoted specifically to these characters. Have them meet once
Yep.
in a while, make it
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
more
yeah.
organic. But
Yes.
that's awesome that you like Gambit or that you love Gambit so much. I am a fan of Gambit also. Uh,
Yep.
him and Archangel, I didn't like them so much back towards the cusp of the Claremont days because they always beat up on Wolverine.
Yeah.
um, but okay, so
But
shoot.
the irony is, I never get to draw Gambit in the Marvel comics up till today.
Well, that's something I was just thinking of. You are invested in films in Indonesia,
Yeah.
right? So what if what if you put forth some character sketches for somebody, because I know somebody who does the character sketches and the scene
Mm.
sketches for that MacGyver TV show that was out
Oh yeah.
there. He's actually a buddy of mine, and I'm wondering, like, what if you put yourself out there and said, "Hey, man, how about if I do some character sketches for you and some scene stills and all that good stuff."
Yeah, maybe we can do that. Yeah.
But
That's it's a small trivia because I didn't get to draw Gambit uh, in any Marvel books. I keep putting Gambit in almost all of my work, but it's a small cameo. Like I put Gambit in Wolverine series. I draw Gambit as one of the painting, and I put Gambit in Hyperion. Just the name, Lebo, and the Ace Cards logo in one of the water tank.
mhm.
And in House of M, I put Gambit in a poster, like a wanted poster. So I keep putting Gambit everywhere because I don't get to draw him
so
in the
that
real book.
so that's your thing. You keep sneaking in pictures of Gambit.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Because who was it? Todd McFarlane used to always put in spiders, and he would try to
yeah.
put a certain number, like count how many spiders. Yeah, I think that was his thing. He would put a number on the front that would say how many spiders. Can you find all the spiders in the comic book?
Yeah, in the
So
interior. Yeah,
nice, nice. Okay, that's cool. Okay.
yeah.
So how did you get involved in movies? Excuse me, movies in Indonesia.
Um, Back then, when I was just graduated, there's this well-known celebrity in Indonesia, and the manager is looking for an artist to draw an artwork for the to for them to put in the proposal to find sponsors or something like that. And they found me, and I made the drawings, and I put it the drawing for the proposal, and then apparently the director loves it, and he invited me to do the project, to get more involved. And then he asked me to do uh, the artistic interpretation of several scenes, the key scenes. So basically, I do the artistic impressions of those scenes, and then I get to know all the movie peoples, and yeah, from that day, I keep doing work for movies, maybe art directors, or yeah, mostly related to art, because I don't want to I don't want to play any role in front of the cameras. I look like a pirate, and so basically, yeah, I'm just doing the concept art. Yeah, mostly concept art or being an art director.
That's awesome. All right, very cool, very cool. Uh,
Thank you.
okay, how long does it take for you to draw a comic book?
Well, Marvel usually give me time about around 5 weeks for 20 pages, and I pencil and ink my own art. So normally it took like 1 pages a day for me to do it. Yeah.
All right, cool. And you just email it over to them?
Yeah, I scan them, I clean the pages on the computer, on the Photoshop, and then I email it to them.
Very cool, very cool. All right. Okay, very basic question. I know a lot of people ask artists, and I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't ask it for the sake of the audience.
Mhm.
How does someone get into comic books?
Well, there's a lot of ways actually. Some of my friends, Indonesian artists, managed to work for Marvel because they went into a Comic Con and they met CB Cebulski, where sometimes CB Cebulski's going to Comic Con and talent scouting, and he will review an artist's work and then give them chance to work for Marvel. Other than that, you can always post your work online, and I mean, it's the magic of the internet, dude. It's the the wonder of the internet. I mean, when you put your work in the internet, like right now, when you make any reviews, when you do any podcast, you have no idea who will see it, who will listen to it, and it might open a lot of chances, like 1,000 of chances. So when you upload your artwork to the internet, you have no idea who will see it. Maybe it will be Marvel editors, maybe it will be Marvel's talent scout or anything like that. Because I don't know whether Marvel or DC ever, open any recruitment via email or whatever. Because if they do, can you imagine like how many emails they will get in a day, for artists to apply their work? So yeah, I think that's it.
Nice. So it's more like they find you, you don't find them.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Or yeah, I don't know. The logical, I mean, the most logical thing for you to do is you cannot wait for Marvel Talent Scout to come to your place, but you can always upload your work in the internet. I mean, if you're doing really awesome work, people will talk about it and they will retweet it. They will put it in a Tumblr. They will, the images will spread around the world, and if they credit you, then Marvel can easily, or DC can easily find you and maybe contact you personally. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm sure they got scouting agents out there.
They do.
All right, so here's something. You're doing some work for XM Studios, and we've
Yeah.
already talked about this. How excited I am for this. Why don't you tell me about XM Studios? That link is also below, but good.
Yeah. I met XM Studio when I was in the Comic Con in Singapore,
Okay.
and I met them, and they saw my work, and they are very happy to see my work for Marvel, and then uh, they kind of want to try something different, maybe with how they usually design statues, and maybe right now they want to try to cooperate with a comic artist. They want to see different perspective maybe, or different style maybe, and then they asked me to do two characters from Marvel, um, two Marvel characters for them, and it was Lady Sif and Beta Ray Bill. And originally, I designed them to be able to be paired together. Like I designed Lady Sif to be on the Beta Bill's shoulder. It can be attached or it can be displayed, uh, separately. But the scale is too big
Mm.
for them to do that because it was 1/4. So they have to be displayed separately. And I enjoyed designing the characters so much because Betray Bill is one of unique characters. It's and we are a fan of the Walt Simonson run
Yeah.
on Thor and Bill, and to design and create a statue because I've been a collector of action figure for quite a while, and to be able to finally create one instead of just buying and collecting, it's a whole different experience. And I'm very happy that the Bill and Sif turns out to be awesome. I just designed the I just made the drawing from front, view and back, and then they give it to uh, the sculptor, the 3D sculptor, and it was a great sculptor from Italy. I forgot the name, but he's a very good artist. And the statue turns out great. I made Surtur as the base for Battery Bill, so he's fallen. He's already beat up, and Battery Bill is stepping on his face and posing in all his glory. And for Lady Sif, I designed I combine all of the Nordic elements like the statue, the head statue of the Nordic, and the shield, and then the pillars and the rocks and the earth and all of those elements combined into one. It's just like a battle scene for Lady Sif, and yeah, and I think I'm going to design more for XM Studios, but yeah, we'll see about that. I'm having a great time with them.
Maybe they'll let you do Gambit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to draw Gambit. I would love to design Gambit. Yeah, I would design Gambit for them for free actually,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, that's a
as
good
long as they give
advertisement.
me the statue.
Wow, like that. All right. Yeah, I'm really excited. On the
Mm,
XM Studios webpage themselves, I've only seen
mm,
four statues. One was Iron
mhm.
Fist that they put out most recently. The fist actually
Yep.
glows. They're interchangeable parts and everything like that. It looks amazing.
Yes.
They show
Yep.
Thor, I think it's just the bust. They show
Mhm,
Mary Jane and Spider Man, and there's one other one. I can't remember what it was. But on the
mhm,
Facebook page, which I didn't link to,
mhm,
but I'm sure they can find it there. They've got a bunch
mhm,
more, including Optimus Prime. They actually added
mhm.
the robot form and the car form, the truck form, and
Yeah.
that looks amazing. So I can't
Mm.
wait to finally see. And you said that you can't show pictures of what you've got because you know um what do you call it, legality issues, but man, I can't wait to see like the Sif. I'm excited for it, but I'm over the top to see a Beta Ray Thor.
Oh, you
And
will be
especially
happy to see Bill. Hmm.
stepping on Surtur, like revenge for the Corbinites finally, right?
Yes. And it's a really good. I mean, XM did a really awesome job on their statues, especially on Magneto and Ghost Rider. I'm sorry.
I did see the Ghost Rider. I didn't see the
Yeah.
Magneto, I don't think.
The Magneto is the one who's that's sitting in the Sentinel hand. You know, there's a fallen Sentinel hand, and Magneto is using it as a throne for him to sit down.
Man,
It was spectacular piece. I mean, it's really good. And when if you able to see their statues, directly, if you see it, live, it's really good. The amount of details it's just really good.
that's excellent. That's so excellent. All right, so I
Mm.
I've been trying to put it off, but
Hmm.
obviously, and we talked about this. In my opinion, the biggest event coming up in Marvel, biggest event,
Yeah,
Secret
yeah, yeah,
Empire.
yeah.
All right,
Hmm.
so you're going to be
Hmm.
working on how many issues is this comic that you're working on? Secret Empire United.
Oh, this is going to be just a one shot, but this is going to be, I think, 40 pages. So it's a pretty thick.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
asked you 40 pages, man. It's a double-sized issue. So
Hmm.
I was trying to get as much out of you as I could before we went live, and you said that you're
Hmm.
only able to tell me one character that's in it because the writers have already revealed a character. So who's that character?
It's a magic.
Magic for Ilyana Rasputin.
Yes.
Oh man, so she's actually going to be going. Can I ask? Is Captain America going to be in this?
Oh yeah, Captain America is
Okay.
going to be in this.
Wow. Okay. So you get to draw a mutant. You get to draw
Yeah.
Ileana going up against Steve Rogers. Oh man,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
hearing this
Well,
unfold. Go on.
I mean, for me, because I'm a huge fan of the mutants, X Men and all those other mutants. This is pretty special issue for me because you will have no idea who you will find or meet in the pages of this comic. I mean, when I got the script, I was like, holy! I mean, oh my god, the characters is amazing. I mean, I never thought that they will appear here, but they do, and of course there will be fight scenes, and it was great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I think we're
I'm very excited. Yeah.
yeah, I think we're looking forward to the fight scenes because most
Mm.
of it so far has been political, but that's what sucked us in, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, I guess the fight scenes will kind of be like, finally, hit him in the face. But oh man, all right. So,
Yeah.
are there any plans for you in the future? Because I see the way that Marvel's doing things. Oh, that's actually something I wanted to mention before. I know you said that there are
Hmm.
artists out there who are better than you. Okay, yeah, very cool. I can agree, and I can also very much disagree also, because you are far from the worst artist that Marvel has right now. I feel like Marvel.
Oh,
I'm just saying this, like this is props to you, while at the same time being a little poke to Marvel right now. Marvel does not
yeah.
do a lot with their artists right now, as far as I'm concerned. They're not hiring the best artists as they've been before, and I'm really disappointed in a lot of the artwork that I see for Marvel.
Mm.
Stories are still pretty good, Sometimes stories are great, but a lot of times, like in my reviews, a lot of people would say, "Which one did I just do recently?" Someone said, "So if the Kingpin." Kingpin issue
Mm.
number 3. They said, "So the story was good. Would you have given a higher grade if the art was better?" I said, "Yes, absolutely. I would have given a much higher grade if the art was better." And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I don't have any problem with your art. I love your art.
Thank you very much.
Oh, of course, thank you. Um, yeah, the most recent one that you did that just it had me giddy. I was actually reading it, and the story was great, but like the art was crazy for this. Was Uncanny Inhumans issue number 20. That was the final
Yeah.
issue for that, which got
Yeah.
resolved in Inhumans Prime. But that was such a great issue. The Tell me about that issue, man, please.
Oh my God. First of all, it's all Charles. I mean, he's a really
Charles Soule.
great writer. Yeah, yeah. He's brilliant. I mean, when I got the script for that issue, I was laughing. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to draw this? Of course, this is going to be so much fun to draw. I mean, drawing a Power Ranger style of battle, monster versus robot. It's in the Marvel comics. I mean, I was like, oh God, this is going to be a lot of fun. So it didn't feel like working for me when I draw it. It feels like I'm traveling back to my childhood, when I got to draw a comic, like, oh, having so much fun. I got to design, I mean, I designed Maximus Robot and I got to design the monster. So both of them is my original design. So imagine how fun is that? You get to design the robot, you get to design the monster, and you got to draw them fighting each other. So it was so much fun, and I got a lot of pleasure drawing Maximus because I think for me, drawing bad guys is always more interesting than drawing good guys because you got to draw the expression of the bad guys. You got to draw the the smile, the tricky expression of Maximus, and he's damn evil, right? I mean, yeah, he got Ramsay Bolton, to be him. So,
I see him as like the perfect paradigm to Loki.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. I mean, imagine like whenever I get the script and I get to draw bad guys, right? I always think about what kind of evil is this person? Because there's several kind of evil, right? There's the Thanos kind of evil, who's just he just want to rule the universe, and there's kind of Joker kind of evil, who's just he just wants to see the world burn. He's just a psychopath who's the his humor sense of humor is deadly. And there's Loki kind of evil. There's Magneto kind of evil when he's evil, of course, and Apocalypse. So there's a lot of various kind of type of evilness, and it's always a challenge for me to decide and to draw, to visualize, like, okay, Maximus the Mad, like, what kind of evil is this guy is, and Maximus by far is he's just mad. I mean, he know how to make the Terrigen.
Yeah,
Terrigen.
yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to do it, but instead he chose to build the giant robot
With a Terrigen sword.
with a lightsaber.
With a Terrigen lightsaber, basically.
With a Terrigen lightsaber. I mean, it was just very funny, and I got to draw this wacky sidekick, the Kludge, and he's the comedic role in the scene, and it's just the whole thing is just funny. I mean, we got to see Banyan, and they are watching like Indian soap operas. It's
And
there's
he
so much.
was a Bollywood star, which is I was laughing. I'm reading the comic shaking because I'm laughing so hard at this. He's like, yeah, that was actually me. What? As Triton what the heck is his name? For crying out loud. I know his name. It's with an I. No, Lineage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Triton
lineage.
and
Yeah.
Lineage are sitting there watching it, and Banyan comes up. Oh yeah, you're watching the Bollywood. Yeah, that's actually me. What? Yeah, before the mists, that was me. I was a
Or
good-looking guy.
was this? Yeah, yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, Charles is a genius. I mean, there's a lot of reader who's expecting a more serious and tense ending, but for me, it's a very sweet ending because you get to see the way we're heading. I mean, we get to see this important fact that Maximus do actually know how to make Terrigen, and his way of thinking, which is mad and twisted. And then we got the closure with Medusa
Black Bolt. Yeah.
and yeah, and Black Bolt, speaking together, and there's a lot of facts there. Yeah, you got a very very perfect ending for me. I think, yeah, and drawing that issue was so much fun. It was just so much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like I'm seeing giant Robo versus Kaiju in a Marvel Comics, and I'm literally
Yes.
reminiscent of the days when Marvel had the Toyo license for Godzilla, and they'd have Red
Yes.
Ronin go against them. I'm
Exactly.
back there, so wow, that's impressive. All right,
Yeah.
so this is already going longer than I promised you it would, and I know you got to get back to
No,
drawing.
I don't mind at all. Man, I'm having so much fun.
I can't even tell you how much fun I'm having right now. But
Yeah.
okay, let's end it on this. Let's end it with this.
Okay.
Your favorite
Hmm.
character is Gambit.
Hmm.
Okay, Gambit went up against
Hmm.
Steve Rogers in
Hmm.
the AVX, the Avengers versus
Yes.
X Men,
Yes.
and he got
Uh
beaten
huh.
easily. Do you remember
Yep.
that?
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
I
he got
remember that. Yeah, I don't really like to to see it, but yeah, I remember that.
so when you're drawing. So right now, when you got Magic in there fighting against Steve Rogers, is she getting in some extra licks against him? Revenge.
That's a very good question. That's a very good.
Okay.
But I'm trying to be fair. So yeah, when Gambit's facing Captain America, I think what happened there. I mean, if Gambit can win against Captain America, then it's his luck because you're fighting against someone who's having a superpower by super strength and with experience from years of fighting. I mean, the man fights the Nazi for God's sake, and then he got a lot of experience, and he's the leader of the Avengers. So, well, Gambit is strong, but he's just not experienced enough, I think, to fight Captain. So in this issue, well, I am trying to do it justice. So I won't bring my personal vendetta against Captain America to avenge for Gambit. So it's not going to happen. But well, let me put it this way: you will be happy to see all of the characters that's appearing in this book. You will be happy, especially if you're a fan of the X comics, the old X comics. You will be happy because for me, it's one of my dream come true when I got to draw all the characters in this book. It's it's not just regular characters; it's special characters. So yeah, you will be happy.
What other comics do you have coming up? Anything on the table right now?
Right now, no. For Marvel, it's just this one. They haven't let me know about my next project yet. But I got other comics with my other projects, but not a big publisher. It's actually a comics that accompanied a statue. So if you buy the statue, you get this comic. It's made
Oh,
by yeah, it's made by HMO. HMO. HMO is one of XM's partner in statue business, and they are making licensed statues. Recently, they are making Mega Man, and they are also making statues from game. So, oh, they are making Morrigan from the game. The Darkstalkers, I think.
okay. Morgan, I haven't played video games in a while, unfortunately, but
Yeah, yeah. It's from the old times video games. Also,
okay.
they're making a lot of licensed statues. So, yeah, they're making their own universe, and in this universe, it's their original characters. So when you buy the statue, you'll also get a comic book that accompanied the characters, like explain a bit about the characters' background. And yeah, I'm also working on that right now. Also designing a creature for a movie. Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what's going on in my studio right now. Actually, if you see far behind, that's the script for the Secret Empire. and
Everybody
but
zoom.
I'm going I'm going to cover it. And then there's also, I don't think you can read
No,
it. Don't.
it's
And there's this one of the pages that I'm working on right now. Back then.
that sounds
So
you
this,
just body checked it.
so I was this is my break from making a page today. So I'm having a lot of fun talking about this.
Nice. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun too. Actually, you know what? You can tell I'm such a noob at this. I'm just now seeing now that this is going towards my WrestleMania 33 reaction. This is
Wow.
not going towards the right one. So I'm wondering how come there are no questions? I know it's early in the morning here essentially, but why am I not getting any questions? And now suddenly I get it. Duh. So no one can see this apparently. I'm such a dweeb. I am such a dweeb. But hopefully I can at least
Talking about,
fix this
yeah,
later.
speaking of WrestleMania, I'm a big fan of The Undertaker.
Oh, see, oh my, we got to hang out. Listen, listen.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I told you before I used to work in Saudi Arabia for
yeah.
5 years. Actually, January, not this January, but January of last year is when I finally came home. My wife
Hmm.
is Canadian. She's like, listen, I know we're making a lot of money, teaching over there and whatnot. And I got to meet amazing people. And I've been from literally coast to coast and all over in Saudi Arabia. I got to, travel outside and whatnot. And while we were there, we were talking about taking several trips. Malaysia and Indonesia were two of those that we were genuinely thinking about going to. So
Yep.
and we love to travel. We've been all over the world, and Indonesia is on our list. I actually used to write short
Good.
stories, and one of them
Yeah.
was actually involved being around the river bazaars of Indonesia. So
Uh-huh.
when I say if we ever hang out, it might not be because you come to Canada. It might be because I come to Indonesia. I'm not joking. And if we do, okay, if that's the case,
Looking forward,
we're hanging
man.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Please do, please. Looking forward.
So yeah, and okay, dude. So talk to me about the Undertaker, the Phenom.
Hmm. It's sad. It's sad when when he did that, taking off his jacket and put the hat. It's
Gloves,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's over for me. I mean, yeah, he's something. He got quite a big impact for me. The Dead Man. Since I was a little kid, he's always been my favorite. And to see him retiring, it's not an easy thing to do.
Makes
Yeah.
us feel old.
Hmm?
It makes me feel old personally.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. It does. Me too. But I mean, it's a long journey, and he deserves to take a rest. Rest in peace.
Mhm.
Rest in peace. But
I get a
but
headache
it's
when I
just
do the eyes.
but it won't be the same without him. It will never be the same without him. I know he will make appearance here and there, but you won't be able to see him at his prime. Fighting. It's just different. He's one of the last comic characters in WWE. And nowadays, you don't see wrestlers like him anymore, who's very highly invested into his characters, and he never break characters. He never even attempt the Hall of Fame
That's right.
because he wants to. Yeah, because he wants to. Except for the Paul Bearer, right? Because he wants to stick into his characters, and I think that speak a lot of him. And he's the locker room leader, right? He's one of the person that all of the wrestlers in WWE respects. Definitely, he's up there. He's God, man.
Yeah, or the devil, but
Yeah, he's
but
the devil.
yeah, like when you say that he's respected by everybody, yeah, he was the for wrestling court, looking at behind the scenes stuff, listening to some people doing their shoot interviews. Yeah, he was the judge, or every time
Yeah,
that a wrestler had a problem or two wrestlers had a
yeah,
problem, he would be the judge.
yeah.
What do you call it? What else was it? Just forget about it, man. Yeah, he always maintained kayfabe. You know, he would never
Yep.
break from character. Um,
Yep. Never.
yeah, he was. And that's what I was going to say. Bret Hart, who is always insulting somebody. Like he's never happy with anybody anywhere. Um,
Especially Vince.
yes, especially Vince and HBK, all that stuff. Like, just forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's insulted mankind. He's insulted Ric Flair. He's insulted so many people before.
Mhm.
Hates Triple H, but he actually
Mhm.
says good things about what's his name, the Undertaker, which is
Yeah.
wow.
Mark Calloway.
Mark Calloway. Yep, mean Mark
Yeah.
Calloway. But yeah, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
man. Like I started watching because my father was huge into wrestling. He started watching
Wow.
back in the Bruno Sammartino days. You know, we're Italians, so
Wow.
Italian Americans. So of course, Bruno
Yeah.
Sammartino was huge for him. I started watching before Hulk Hogan even debuted in WWE. I remember seeing him in the old Minnesota AWA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
saw that
Oh
stuff. So
wow.
I remember when he first appeared, Bob Backlund brought him in and everything. I was like, oh my God. And for me, yeah, Hulk Hogan was always the best, no matter what. He couldn't be beat. And then all of a sudden, that SummerSlam showed up, Survivor Series, and here comes
Yeah.
the Undertaker, and it
The
didn't take too long.
zombie-looking man. Yeah.
This is the man. And yeah, he very quickly replaced Hulk Hogan as my favorite and beat him for the title and everything, and just
Yeah.
wow.
And back then he still used that signature move a lot where when he got beaten and then he rise up really fast, as if Hulk Hogan's got nothing on him, you
The no
know.
sell. That's right. Oh
Yes.
man. Yeah, well Hogan had his own no sell, with the, you hit me, I'm hulking up, I'm hulking up.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh man. Yeah, okay, you know what?
Mhm.
We're hanging out. All right? It's done.
Okay. All right.
Everything except for the date. We're hanging out.
Deal, man,
All
deal.
right, cool, man. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I hope I
My
don't screw it up and I am able to actually put it out. Somehow I'll figure out how to put this thing out. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this for us.
You're welcome.
Um,
You're very welcome.
yeah, I'm really hoping to see more stuff. And forget about it, man. Anytime you got something, coming out, send it to
Mm.
me and forget about it. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can you tell I'm Italian? Forget about it. But yeah, I'll absolutely put it out there and everything. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Let me see how I end this thing. I don't know what I'm doing. This is so embarrassing. Okay, upgrading. No, I'm not trying to upgrade. Maybe I could just close this. Would that do it?